So I have talked about this. I actually talked a lot about this on my Instagram story. And it's not something I've really discussed like super at length on YouTube. But if you don't know what PMDD is, let me read you the actual definition. It might be something that you're suffering with without realizing it. I think a lot of times people, they don't really know what it is. They just think it's PMS or that they have really hard time with their emotions before their period. PMDD is more than that. So it says PMDD is also known as premenstrual dysphoric disorder, a severe, sometimes disabling extension of premenstrual syndrome. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder, or PMDD, is a severe form of premenstrual syndrome that includes physical and behavioral symptoms that usually resolve with the onset of menstruation. PMDD causes extreme mood shifts that can disrupt work and damage relationships. Symptoms include extreme sadness, hopelessness, irritability, or anger, plus common premenstrual symptoms associated such as breast tenderness and bloating. Common symptoms of PMDD are depressed mood, sadness, hopelessness, or feelings of worthlessness, increased anxiety, tension, mood swings, or the feeling of being on edge all of the time, self-critical thoughts, increased sensitivity to rejection, frequent or sudden tearfulness, increased irritability, anger, or both, conflict with family, coworkers, or friends, decreased interest in normal activities, concentration problems, fatigue, lethargy, and lack of energy, changes in appetite such as binge eating, overeating, or craving certain foods, changes in sleep patterns such as excessive sleeping or difficulty sleeping, feelings of being overwhelmed or out of control. So how is PMDD diagnosed? Well, aside from health history and physical pelvic exam, there are very few diagnostic tests. Because you may have mental health symptoms, your healthcare provider might want you to be evaluated for mental health concerns. Your provider may also ask that you keep a journal of your symptoms. Over the course of the year, during the menstrual cycles, you must have 5 or more symptoms that have been present during the week before your period and stopping within a few days after your period starts. Symptoms must be linked to significant distress. They might disturb your ability to function in social, work, or other situations. So things that can help ease or decrease the severity: changes in diet, increasing protein and carbohydrates, decreasing sugar, salt, caffeine, and alcohol, regularly exercising, stress management such as relaxation and meditation, vitamin supplements such as vitamin B6, calcium, and magnesium, anti-inflammatory medicines, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or antidepressants, SSRIs, or birth control pills. So that's basically what PMDD is. Now, I didn't have this until I gave birth. I don't know what happened, but it triggered PMDD, and this can be relatively common from what I understand. I'm not sure exactly when I got my cycle back. I think I was like 5 months postpartum, but like maybe around like month 6 or 7, I noticed just like right before my period, I would be literally sobbing at the drop of a hat. Like I'm talking inconsolably sobbing. I couldn't control how I felt. I felt completely out of control. That's the only way I could describe it. And then I would be like hopeless, down, depressed, like so tired that I just couldn't. It's like a bone crushing fatigue, you know, like an exhaustion beyond all exhaustion. And then my period would start and I'd be like, oh, there she is. Hi, normal. The reason I'm even mentioning this is because I am in it heavy right now. Like I'm on cycle day. I have a PMDD app. The app is called Me versus PMDD. So right now I'm on cycle day 31. My period is pretty irregular again these days. Not pretty irregular. Like I get it every month, but I would say it's like every cycle day 34 maybe versus like 28. It was 28 for a while there, and now it's like 32 to 34. It just depends. But I'm like heavy in my PMDD right now, and I know because I feel like I can get a full good night's sleep, and I wake up feeling like I haven't slept in days. When I sit here and talk to you guys about this, often it can come off like self-pity or whatever. It's more just to talk about that this exists, and that if you are experiencing something like this, that might be the case for you, and it might be worth talking to your doctor about. So I am on SSRIs. I am taking 5 milligrams of Lexapro. I was up at 20 for like a year, and I went down to 15, then 10, and now I'm at 5. As far as my PMDD goes, I don't know if it was significantly better when I was at the highest dose of SSRIs. It does seem like maybe it was a little better, but the rest of my life felt kind of dulled. So I prefer to be at a lower dose, even if my PMDD is worse, because it is temporary. So if you do have this, you can also like have thoughts of like suicidal ideation and stuff like that, just mostly because your hormones are shifting and it can make your body feel absolutely crazy. So from what I understand and all the reading that I've done, PMDD is not that you have something wrong with your hormones. It's that your brain is reacting to those hormonal fluctuations in a very negative way. So it's not that my hormones are actually off. I've had them tested. And some have been a little bit off, but nothing like too crazy. It's more or less that my brain just, for some reason or another, after my son was born, started being weird about hormones. And now it just feels like, it could feel like the world is coming to an end. And it's literally just because my hormones are shifting. My husband, the darling doll face he is, took our kiddo just now to go, and they're gonna like have a little time where they hang out together outside of the house, because I just looked at him this morning and I was like, my PMDD is so bad, and he's so understanding, and took him, and we just have kind of this, well, I wouldn't say it's an unspoken agreement, it's most certainly a spoken agreement that I need space during this time, because there's really nothing that can be done. Really, during this time of the month, really the only thing that I can have realized is very helpful to me is being left alone. I really like to be left completely alone during this time. And obviously that's completely impossible. I have a 3-year-old and I am a mom. Like, I'm not left alone at all. In fact, the entire morning today, my kid, every word that came out of his mouth was whining, and he's feeling so much better. So this isn't because of the sickness. He's actually, his fever's finally gone, and his throat seems like it's not red and sore anymore. He's just whiny. And today has been particularly very difficult with PMDD because I'm just so irritable and exhausted, and toddlers are irritating and exhausting. I love him so much, but like, you get it if you have one. The only reason I'm talking about this on YouTube right now, I don't even want to talk about stuff like this. Like, it's always used against me when I do talk about anything like this, but it's not, again, for like self-pity or anything. This is really because if you are experiencing something like this, just know it is normal to feel some level of different right before your cycle starts. Like, PMS is a very common thing. PMDD, however, is like PMS on steroids. It's like, you just can't believe how bad you feel. It's like the lowest of low. It's the saddest of sad. It's the most crushing depression, and it goes immediately away as soon as your cycle starts. Like, when my period used to start, I used to be like, no, my period, it ruins everything. Now when it starts, it's the best day, because I know that my mood is going to be okay. Like, I'm gonna be okay in the next couple of days. Some people have found a lot of benefit with things like famotidine, which is weird. Pepsid helps a lot of people. Some people find a lot of relief with like Claritin. I think I might try Claritin today to see if it makes any difference at all. I have not found any relief with those like alternative methods. Like, I've seen some people say that Claritin like immediately relieves their PMDD symptoms. I'm going to take one today and see if it makes a difference. I tried Zyrtec and that didn't do anything. But if Claritin can help, I don't know why, but some people have a lot of success with like a histamine blocker. Benadryl can help some people, that it makes people drowsy. So Claritin is another like really positive thing for some people. But again, famotidine can really help people as well, or Pepsid. I don't know why, again, but you know, they don't really have a lot of studies into PMDD because it's a relatively, I wouldn't say it's a rare thing. It certainly is becoming more, like, more people are coming out and saying that they have it, which I think, you know, is probably in part due to people understanding that it is real and it does exist, and it's not made up. It's not in your head. You're not crazy. I mean, it feels crazy, but you're not crazy. Yeah. You know, if you've ever wondered, like, why does this happen to me before my period every month? It could be PMDD, and it might be worth talking to your doctor about. Not that there's anything really your doctor can do other than prescribing SSRIs and stuff like that, but it can be helpful for a lot of people. Some people find immense help in starting antidepressants if they have PMDD, and some people just do it during their luteal phase, which would just be like their the 2 weeks leading up to your period. Like, you have your follicular phase, which is like your the first 2 weeks, like right when your period starts to, like when you ovulate, and then you have your luteal phase. And the luteal phase is when a lot of people, well, if you have PMDD, that's when you start feeling bad. Sometimes people can feel bad for like 2 weeks out of the month. Sometimes people, it's like 10 days. Sometimes people, it's like the week before their period. For me, I'd say I'm more of that. I can start feeling changes in my mood around cycle day 21. I have been like pinpointed that. I can literally sometimes be like, it's almost like weird, because I'll be having a conversation with my husband, and he's so funny and he's witty and he's amazing and he's just silly and so great. And then he'll say something that normally I would think is funny, and I'm like, that wasn't funny at all. And then I'll open my app and it'll be like, you're on cycle day 21. I'm like, I don't know why this has happened after my son was born, but it has. So regardless, I thought I would make a video about it because, you know, interestingly, having a YouTube channel and doing what I've done for the last like 12 years I've been doing this. While opening yourself up to talk about things that ail you or bother you or you've struggled with, that opens you up for some scrutiny because people are like, oh my God, stop complaining. I don't fucking care. I don't care because you have no idea the amount of DMs I've received from people being like, this video helped me to get a diagnosis, or this video helped save my life, or this video, like, I was able to get the help that I finally needed because you were open about, struggles and dealing with certain things. So either way, even if if you want to say, oh, you're complaining, or oh, you're annoying, or oh, you're blah, 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 whatever, just say whatever you want to say, because reality is this does exist and it does affect people, and it is very scary for a lot of people because they don't know why. So suddenly their mood shifts and they feel like life is hopeless. And you just have to tell yourself when you're dealing with this condition, like I literally have to tell myself, it's not you, it's the PMDD. This ain't me, it's PMDD. This ain't me, it's PMDD. And that's quite literally so true. It ain't me, it's PMDD. It's not my real life situation. This is 100% the hormonal shift in my brain is struggling. And so I just I hate to say it, like the terminology is like give yourself grace, but quite literally, don't put too much stock into these thoughts. Try not to. Like, just notice the thought. And I heard somebody explain it this way one time, and it's very beneficial for me to hear this. Again, hearing people talk about things can be really beneficial. They said, like, think of your thought like, and now granted, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, think of your thought like a leaf floating on the surface of water and gently drifting away. You notice it, you don't stop it, you don't cling to it, you don't put too much thought into it. It's just a leaf floating down the river. And it's like, wow, that's a really good point. Like, these thoughts are here, these feelings are here. I'm overwhelmed today, I feel hopeless today, but that's just today. That's not forever. It feels like forever when you're in it, but that's because I specifically am one of those people that when I have a thought, it feels like that thought is going to be forever. When I have an emotion, it feels like this is how life is now. And that's just not the case. I'm literally looking at a wall right now of picture frames filled with life memories. And each day I can remember how I felt on those days. And they each have their own set of hardships or happiness or euphoria or devastation or sadness or grief, or they all have their own feelings, and they were all different days. And I probably felt in each day like each of those feelings would be forever, but none of them were. So this isn't either. This is just a sleepy day today. I feel exhausted today. I feel overwhelmed today. And as soon as my period starts, which hopefully will be any day now, I will feel better. And so that's all I really wanted to do, was sit and talk about PMDD. So if you haven't heard of it, if you didn't know what it was, if you have been experiencing some mood shifting and changes that feel really intense right before your period starts, you may have PMDD, and it might be worth looking into because, I didn't know what was going on with me for a while. I just literally thought I was going crazy. I felt like, because my anxiety would increase so significantly right before my period, and I would be like, what the hell? Like today, I noticed that something that normally wouldn't bother me was bothering me so much today. Like, I feel like the world even looks like shaky. I feel nauseous and confused and just almost like empty, but overwhelmed. It's so weird to be both, but also bone crushing fatigue. Like, sometimes people, because, they say you could sleep too much or not enough. Too much. But vivid dreams. Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, yep, we're deep in PMDD right now, and that's all right. It's going to be just fine. I'm going to feel better soon. And I wanted to just make this video today so you guys know that if you are experiencing this, you're not alone. We will be okay. Being a woman is fucking hard sometimes, like really hard. If it's not my brain being unnecessarily harsh at me, it's this. But it's also beautiful and wonderful. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was in any way interesting or helpful for you. And if it is something that somebody you know and love experiences, just give them space, because it's bullshit idiot hard. And yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.